Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Northern California Regional Multicultural Symposium Volunteer Orientation. My name is Catherine Chivers, and I am the Community Engagement Coordinator here at NAMI, California, and today I'm going to be walking you through the orientation. Please note that this video is required in order to qualify as a volunteer for the symposium. We'll provide some helpful information about volunteering as well as the different roles you can apply to be. So please be sure to watch this video before you fill out the volunteer application through SurveyMonkey. So let's go ahead and get started. The Northern California Regional Multicultural Symposium is going to be taking place on Thursday, October 4th. It will take place at the Sobrato Center, which is located in Redwood City, and you can see the address up on the screen there. It is just south of San Francisco. Please note that on the day, the actual registration will open at 8 a.m., but the program does not start until 9:30 a.m. We will have networking and refreshments as well as registration from 8:30 to 9:30, and then the program will begin then, and the program will close out at 3 p.m. Though the volunteer positions have a little bit of a different timeline than the actual program timeline, so we'll be going over that as well today. For those of you who are not familiar with the Multicultural Symposium, this is normally goes along with our statewide conference, and so now we're branched out and starting to do regional multicultural symposiums to try and get even a larger audience. And basically what this is coming together of community leaders and organizers to share best practices for serving diverse communities and understanding how we at NAMI can better serve diverse and unserved or underserved populations through our work. And also it's a celebration of the diversity and trying to really get diverse groups more involved with NAMI. You don't have to be from a diverse group in order to attend, but we definitely encourage those from diverse backgrounds to attend. So the purpose of this training is really to provide you with an overview of the different volunteer positions that you can apply for and what those entail, general information about volunteering and some guidelines. Hopefully it will help to address any questions you may have about volunteering. As well, I'm going to provide my email address and phone number so you can contact me directly with any additional questions. And we really want you to feel comfortable with the different roles of volunteering so that when you come on the day, if you're chosen to be a volunteer, you know what to expect and what your role will be. We're going to start off by talking about food, breaks, and parking. We'll move on to dress code, arrival expectation, go over kind of the floor plan of the building and how to get there, discussing the volunteer roles, signing in and out as a volunteer, and then any questions you may have, I'll provide my contact information so you can reach out to me directly. So food. The Multicultural Symposium is providing breakfast and lunch. Breakfast will consist of pastries and coffee. So if you are gluten-free or have a dietary restriction similar to that, I would suggest you bring your own snacks. Lunch will be provided. It is going to be sandwiches or salad if you are a vegan or have other dietary restriction. If you do have dietary restriction, you need to let me, Catherine Chivers, know at least 1 week in advance. I would really appreciate it if you could do it as soon as you are watching this video. Please let me know. Otherwise, we will not be able to accommodate you if you don't let me know at least a week in advance. And we really want to do our best to accommodate everyone so we can at least provide you with some meals as a thank you for your volunteer time. Breaks throughout the day. The shifts range, they're about 3.5 hours to 5 hours. If you do need breaks during your shift, that's totally okay. All we ask is that you inform a NAMI California staff member and then also let your fellow volunteers that you are working with know that you're taking a break so they know where you've gone in case they should need you. As well, please limit the breaks to 15 minutes at a time and please don't take more than 2 breaks. You are expected to be at your assigned posts during the volunteer time, and we really appreciate it if you can primarily stay there unless you're helping another guest or attendee out and need to help them go somewhere, but other than that, you really should be staying at your post. If you anticipate needing further accommodation, like more breaks, or you cannot stand or sit for a certain amount of time, please email me at the email address located there, Catherine@namica.org, and we would be more than happy to accommodate you. Parking and transportation. So the Multicultural Symposium is taking place at the Sobrato Center, and there is a parking lot there that is free to use, so no worries about paying for parking. Transportation, you are required to obtain your own forms of transportation to and from the Multicultural Symposium. We will not be providing travel reimbursement for volunteers. The dress code as a volunteer for this event is business casual. We would like the volunteers to look nice, but also we really want you to be comfortable because you will be walking around a lot that day, showing people where to go and helping people out. And sometimes you're kind of running around trying to help people. So I really stress wearing comfortable shoes, and I would highly recommend not wearing high heels. We ask that you do not wear any outfits that are very casual, such as tank tops, jeans, sneakers, or sportswear. However, if you do have some sort of medical condition or need special accommodations to wear certain shoes or clothing or such like that may not be in line with the business casual recommendations, that is totally fine. We can definitely accommodate you. Just please give me a heads up and I can figure out how to best accommodate you. And again, you can email me at my email listed below, and it will be at the end of this video as well. We expect that all volunteers will arrive 10 minutes prior to their shift. This is very, very, very important because you all are going to play a really integral role in the Multicultural Symposium, and it helps for you all together 10 minutes early so we can brief you and let you know where you need to go and answer any questions you may have the day of. It's also very important that you memorize your role before coming to the actual day so that you are confident in what duties and responsibilities you will need to do. And as well, you're going to come and check in at the volunteer check-in table, which will most likely be right by registration. You will simply come to the 350 Twin Dolphin Drive, and there will be a registration table right inside. I am going to look at the location in a little bit, in a couple of weeks, and so after that, if there's further information regarding where the registration table will be set up, we will let you know, but there will be signs directing you to registration as well. So how to get there, this is just a large map of Sacramento, San Francisco, Bay Area. So as you can see, Nam, California is located up here in Sacramento. I'm not sure where any of you will be coming from, but that's where we are coming from. And then as you can see here, Sobrato Center is located in Redwood City, which is just south of San Francisco. This is a little bit of a more zoomed in version of it, right near Palo Alto and San Mateo as well. And as you can see, it's located right near the San Carlos Airport, right off the Bayshore Freeway. And so we can provide you with the address as we will so that you can put it in for driving directions. Should you need further assistance with driving directions, again, you can reach out to me as well. This is a layout of the building. So it is a little bit confusing because they actually have two buildings that are all considered the Sobrato Center. So if you look over here at the left, you will see this is their main center where you should come in order to check in. The main program is going to be taking place right here in the Shoreway Conference Room. And I predict that we will be having the registration table set up in the lobby right out here, though if that changes, I will let you all know. Please note to come to Building 350. It is right next to Building 320, which is actually where we will be hosting one of the breakout sessions. So one of the breakout sessions will be taking place in the main conference center where the main program will be going on. The other breakout session is going to be taking place in the Bay Room combined. We will have certain volunteers ushering people to the second breakout session. This is just to familiarize yourself with the space. And in between those, this is Building 350 on the left and Building 330 on the right. This is the same view, but an aerial view through a picture. And as you can see, there are ramps for those who are differently abled and may need to utilize those instead of stairs. As well, be sure to know that they are pretty direct, but we will have individuals out there ushering people to and from the other breakout session to ensure that they can find it with ease. I'm now going to go over the different volunteer roles. For this, we have a smaller amount of roles than if you have volunteered before at the NAMI California conference, because it is going to be a smaller event. So for this, we have greeters, those who will be working the registration tables, and then also interpreters in either Mandarin, Chinese, or Spanish. So greeters are those individuals who will be welcoming people to the symposium. It's really important as a greeter to know kind of the basic layout of the room, and also the Sobrado Center as a whole. So I would suggest getting there a little bit early so that you can kind of take a little walk around and familiarize yourself. As well, I will be printing out maps on the day of so you can help direct people. And also, if you can't find something, you can look on the map there of the Sobrado Center as well. You will be provided with orange vests so that individuals can distinguish you from a participant and know to ask you, if they need to ask where restrooms are or the breakout session is or such, they will know to come to you. When you see participants coming, we'll station you throughout on the day of, but when you see participants coming, be sure to ask them, welcome them, and then also ask them if they need directions to the registration table or elsewhere if they ask that as well. As I said, you will be provided with maps, so hopefully that won't be an issue finding things. If you do have difficulty navigating something, please just come and ask one of the NAMI California staff. And as I said before, one of the breakout sessions is in a different building, so please note that we will be stationing volunteers outside in that kind of little walkway, and then also in the actual other building where the breakout session is taking place to ensure individuals are able to access that. Please note that the greeter logistics, so if you would like to be a greeter, your shift will be from 7:45 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And then lunch will be provided at 12:30 as well. You can have refreshments and breakfast during our breakfast hour as you are greeting individuals. After 12:30, you are free to enjoy the program and are no longer considered a volunteer. After that, make sure you provide or bring us back your orange vests as well. You will need to sign out at the registration table so we know that you have returned that and that you are done volunteering. If you would like to be a volunteer for registration, you are going to be behind the counter and you're going to be greeting participants or attendees as they come up to register. I will have printed out a master registration list. You will ask the participant for their last name, find their last name, highlight it, and this lets us know that they were an attendee so we can track who came and who did not. You will then find their name tag and give it to them. They will all be alphabetized by last name. You will also provide them with a NAMI California lanyard, which they can clip their name badge on and put it around their neck. You will then hand them a NAMI California bag, or it will either be a bag or a folder, and this will contain the symposium agenda and other relevant information about speakers and about the day that each participant will get upon registration or check-in. And then as they leave, be sure to thank them for coming to the NAMI California Multicultural Symposium. As well, we will have an individual, a staff member from NAMI California supervising the registration table. Be sure to follow their directions, and if you have any help or need troubleshooting with anything, you can be sure to ask them. Registration will also help assist volunteers signing in and out. As I said, there will be a sign-in and sign-out sheet. All you need to do is put your contact information there, note what time you signed in as a volunteer, and then return back to the registration table at the end of your shift, and be sure to sign out so that we know you are done volunteering. And also those at registration, I will be briefing on all volunteer roles that the day of so that you also can help other volunteers know where they're supposed to go. So it's really important that you have a working knowledge of the other volunteer roles. The shift for this is going to be from 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., after which you may have lunch and then enjoy the rest of the program from 1 to 3. Please note that there is on-site registration. This event is free to attend, so we will be having volunteers handle on-site registration because participants will not need to pay any sort of a fee. So not all individuals will have registered before. We will have just a paper on-site registration form to collect their information. After you have them fill out the on-site registration form, be sure to have them write down their name on a name tag. We will have blank name tags filled out, and then you can provide them with a lanyard and a symposium bag just as if they were any other attendee. Interpreters. So we're going to be providing simultaneous interpretation to participants who may request it in either Spanish or Mandarin Chinese. Simultaneous interpretation, for those of you who do not know, means that you are interpreting as another individual is speaking in real time. This can be really difficult, and all that we ask is that you do your best. It can be really difficult, especially if you are not a trained interpreter. We don't ask that you're a trained interpreter, but we do ask that you feel comfortable interpreting in real time. Ideally, we will have 2 to 3 interpreters per shift. This is based on the number of volunteer applicants that we receive for these positions, so that we can have individuals switching often in interpreting, so they can switch about every 20 to 30 minutes with one another to avoid fatigue. As interpreters, you will be attending the breakout session there's 2 breakout sessions, and you will attend the breakout session that whomever is receiving the interpretation services is hoping to attend. So even if you're hoping to attend a different breakout session, you're going to have to tag along with the individual who is requiring these services in order to interpret for that breakout session. As well, you will be tasked with aiding other volunteers and NAMI California staff as needed throughout the day. If we have any attendees who are having trouble registering or need interpretation services through that, or need help, the greeters need help communicating with them for navigation, like to the breakout session, you will also just be asked to come over and use your language skills to help provide individuals with the services or information that they need. Because simultaneous interpretation is a very difficult task, we will be splitting it up into 2 different shifts. The first shift is the morning shift, which goes from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. The second shift goes from 12:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. Please note that if you do sign up for the 12:30 to 3 o'clock p.m. shift, lunch is going to be from approximately 12:30 to 1. You will be provided with a lunch, but you just may not be able to eat during that time because we will be having performances. We're hoping to get a spoken word or some other performances, so depending on the performers, you may need to interpret for them if they're reciting a poem or spoken word, or if we have dancers or some other performance that doesn't require language, then you can eat during that time. I already went over this a bit, but remember as a volunteer that you need to check in at the registration table to receive your name badge, and then also sign out at the end of the day to let us know that you completed your volunteering. Volunteer commitment. We really rely on volunteers who are an integral part of this process. So if for some reason you sign up and you are selected as a volunteer and you confirm that you're able to volunteer, and at the last minute you have something come up or you're not able to volunteer, please let me know as soon as possible. If there's even a something that potentially may come up that you foresee that you may have to cancel, please let me know in advance just so I have that on my radar and can maybe try and get a couple other volunteers just in case you are unable to make it at the last minute. Once you are complete this orientation and the volunteer application and are deemed to be fit as a volunteer, I will be sending out a volunteer schedule, giving you your time, your preferred position. Hopefully everyone will get their preferred position, but if not, if you are not okay with your schedule, you need to let me know as soon as possible so we can try and work around that. I will not be making accommodations for last minute changes. And please note that you are required to respond to the email that I send out with a volunteer schedule. If you do not respond to this email, and I will try and hunt you down, I will try and call you and email you, and if I am not able to hear a response from you within a week or 2, then unfortunately you will not be able to volunteer with us because I have no way of knowing that you have received the volunteer schedule and no way of knowing that you are committed to being there on that day. So just make sure to respond to that email, and if not, I will will definitely email you multiple times and give you multiple calls before I deem that, oh, this person is not getting back to me at all and they're not able to volunteer. This has never really been a problem in the past, but just be sure that you do check your email on a regular basis, or that the email you provide is one you check on a regular basis. So how to complete the orientation. After watching this video, you're going to need to fill out the SurveyMonkey volunteer application that was originally given to you. Some of you may have found this link through email that we emailed out, or you may have found it actually on the SurveyMonkey site, as it's located in both locations. So by completing and submitting the volunteer application, which is the SurveyMonkey, if you're selected to be a volunteer, you are committing to a few things that I want to go over. It means that you will have reviewed the volunteer handbook. That will be part of the SurveyMonkey application, and you can see it on there. And it means you will also attest to comply with the volunteer handbook. It means you will have reviewed and will comply with the confidentiality clause. And same goes for the liability clause. Upon submitting your volunteer application, if you're selected as a volunteer, it means that you have reviewed and will comply with the liability clause. As well, if you submit your application and are selected, it means that you have reviewed and will comply with the photo release clause, which basically just means that we are allowed to take photos of you and do not have a right to those photos, and that we can use those for publicity purposes. So please note that coming into it. And again, if you have any other questions or need clarification regarding any of these things, please let me know, and I'd be more than happy to help you. Again, my name is Catherine Chivers. Thank you so much for your interest in volunteering here at NAMI, California for the Multicultural Symposium. I'm really excited about this event. I think it's going to be really, really awesome. This is our first the regional Multicultural Symposium. So I am really hoping that we'll have a wonderful event. And I know that we could not do this without all of your help. So I want to thank you all in advance for your interest and for watching this. And please let me know if you do have any questions. You can email me at catherine@namica.org. My email address is right up there. Or feel free to give me a call, 916-567-0163. When you call that number, just be sure to ask for Catherine, and I can help answer any questions or comments that you may have. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye-bye.